Okay, here we go. All right, I'm here with my buddy Katie, a fellow Hoosier. Katie, how you doing? You doing all right?
We're good, yeah.
Hanging in there, right?
We're hanging in there during COVID-19. Not exactly what we were planning on doing this time.
Yeah. Well, you've been busy. One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, Boys and Girls Club, Boone County, so Central Indiana. Maybe tell folks about yourself, what you do there, and kind of what your club is all about. I think most people know Boys and Girls Clubs, but maybe fill in the gaps for folks if they have any.
Okay. I'm the Resource Development Director, so I handle all the marketing, fundraising, community relations, et cetera. I've been here about a year and a half. We merged with the Lebanon Club about 18 months ago. And to become the Boys and Girls Club of Boone County, we have units in Lebanon, Whitestown, and Zionsville. And we have about 3,000 members with our sports programs and our all of our community events. And then we have about 450 kids that come every day after school. We offer after school programming, before care, before school, summer camp, sports leagues, so a lot of different things for kids in the community. And our focus on this area is from ages 5 to 18 and offer things to do with academic success, community outreach, and healthy lifestyles are our 3 areas of focus that we work on with the kids.
And I've had an opportunity to volunteer at some of the clubs here in Indy and just know all the great things you're providing. And like so many people, a lot of that, most of that, I assume, has been shut down, right? I mean, what's been the impact on the club since, mid-March?
Right. On March 12th, our schools announced that they were going to be closing for the next 3 weeks. Since then, they've now closed for the rest of the school year, except for e-learning. And so we closed on that day as well. We are doing now virtual programming, which just started last week. For any child, you don't have to be a Boone County member. You do have to go on our website, bgcboone.org, and fill out a permission slip. But anyone is welcome to participate in our programming, just to help. The kids miss their friends from the club. They miss their connections with the staff, and to go 3 months without having those, we really felt this was an area that we could assist. You hear all over Facebook and Zionsville moms that parents are overwhelmed with trying to teach the kids, so we're having some homework sessions. We're also doing some fun things, kicking it with Ken, our athletic director, and just doing some fun things. We just did a dance party this morning already. We played Mad Libs last week. So they do this all outside my office. So I always
and you participated in one, I heard this morning, right?
I did. Yes, I did a dance party this morning.
I love it.
That's one thing. And then as soon as we closed, the CEO and I decided that we needed to launch an evening meal program, which Lebanon unit, we typically feed about 100 kids a day. About 65 to 70% of our everyday members, our after school members that come, are on free and reduced lunch. So we felt that this was a need we needed to fill. The program that typically pays for that is through the Department of Education grant, but since we cannot feed the kids on site, that grant is not paying for this. So we have had to solicit grants, donations, individual. Some of our major donors have really stepped up. We have a matching campaign going on. So it all started with one call to our community foundation. We had been alerted that they had carved out money to help for things, and I made a call Friday the 13th asking them to help support this program, and 10 minutes later I got a call back telling me that they were giving us the first $5,000.
Wow.
So,
and it seems like, one of the reasons I wanted to call you up is we could see all the activity in Bloomerang, and you seem to have tapped into the generosity of your community. You had to cancel an event, right? Did I see that correctly?
We were supposed to have a Be Great breakfast on April 22nd. It's sort of our signature telling about our mission. We have 3 special events a year. That's the one in the spring. We do a golf tournament. And then our biggest fundraiser is a Thanksgiving Day run. But this event usually raises around $30,000. So We, are losing that revenue as well as our membership revenue, our
Hmm.
sport we had to cancel. And so we're just asking the community to support this food program. And they have been incredibly generous, not only financial donations, but hot dog buns and hamburger buns, applesauce, and you name it. I put out an email and I have lots of donations that are at the door within a couple of hours. On the weekends,
Wow.
thankfully I live across the street. I drive by 2 or 3 times a day to empty out the donation bin and put it in my car
Wow.
for more. So it's been great. With the closing of school now until the 1st of June, we will be doing this program for 11 weeks. It costs about $1,200 a day.
Hmm.
In food costs, it's about $500 or $500. It's about $5 per person. We've been serving about 240 to 250 meals per day.
Wow.
Tonight, the grocery store in Lebanon, IGA, donated the meat, and the Milky Way, a small local business, is making chili for everybody. Put together by the Zionsville Chamber of Commerce. Tomorrow night, Backroads Barbecue it'll be the 3rd Tuesday in a row that they provide meals for everyone, and that was put together by the Boone County Chamber of Commerce. So we have just had a lot of support from different entities, and we really couldn't do it without them. Jackie's Catering donated a meal the first week, and we have a barbecue place that's donated. So some nights we're making the meals, some nights restaurants are donating it. So
Yeah. One thing that stood out to me
just
in your emails.
reaching, and
Yeah.
not just limited to children. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That you read my mind, because that really stood out to me in all your emails of the businesses that have also kind of answered your call. And I like how you also acknowledge them in the emails, because it seems like so often sponsors kind of go unthanked. So great job on that for sure. And I was just kind of overwhelmed by the amount of things that you've had to communicate. You had to cancel the event, close the club, say we're still doing meals. So what was kind of did you get kind of a natural influx of help by just announcing the closure and the need there, and then kind of add the sort of proactive fundraising, or kind of what was the sort of the arc of the outreach, if that kind of makes sense?
It started with a grant from the Community Foundation. We also have reached out to United Way, but we have not gotten any funding from them as of yet. So it has really been a Boone County grassroots effort. And really through our email campaign. For the first 3 weeks, the only way we communicated was through our Bloomerang database, which we send out every time we send out an email. It goes to over 5,200 people.
Yeah.
So I try and do it no more than twice a week, just because you're getting bombarded by everything. But people are used to looking for them now. I'll get questions like, "What's the menu next week?" And wow. And then I also use our social media, our Facebook, and really that's our main social media that we've been pushing. But like I said, the Chamber of Commerce have really been supportive. The business has jumped on. I have a donor who I called last week and asked him if he would do one meal. And he said, sure. And then when I sent out the email yesterday and said that we were expanding it for 8 more weeks, he sent me an email and said, call me today so we can talk about sponsoring some more meals. So it's been great. So and I have a volunteer whose kids go here in the first couple of days, because we have, a Sign Up Genius through that I also promote out, and that's been so successful as well. And I had a volunteer who then, after volunteering one of the first days, went to Meijer and Target and Kroger and got gift cards from all of those.
Wow.
We've also asked for one from Costco, and I have a Walmart form around here somewhere that I'm going to turn in today. So, it's really the grassroots. One thing that Krista, her stewardship manager, is in here with me. When we look at the donors, 29% have never given to us before.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's outstanding. But you're being proactive. I mean, pat yourselves on the back because you're going out there and calling people. I mean, talk about the phone calls because it seems like some people may be shying away from phones as well, but it seems like you're not afraid to pick up the phone.
Well, we're really not. But it's people that I already have relationships with.
Yeah.
I grew up in Boone County. I grew up in Lebanon, which is where we're doing this. I wouldn't feel comfortable picking up my phone, for someone I didn't already have relationships with and asking them. But someone who I know he doesn't live in Lebanon anymore, but he grew up there. He's invested in the community by buying an old warehouse and tearing it down and going to expand his business there. I knew his heart was in the right place. He's been a sponsor of the Boys and Girls Club golf outing. And we have a big business park in Lebanon. And one of our big sponsors there, PWG, the first week pulled up and they are a wholesale grocer. They store a lot of grocery things. We had green beans and corn and all these things, that a whole carload of things that he brought to us. And Lysol wipes, that was the most exciting thing that he brought.
Yeah, you may have the only wipes in the state of Indiana. Exactly. Well, I mean, kudos to you. You did the pivot. I think it probably would have been easy to say, well, they're getting the school meals, so we'll close the club, we'll do the virtual programming, but you stepped up to provide the food and were proactive about, making sure that there was food there or money for food. So many folks that kind of we've encountered are maybe a little on the fence about being proactive and fundraising and sending emails and reaching out to people. And you've done it in spades. What would you say to a person that maybe is thinking, well, I don't want to bother folks now, maybe it's not the right time to ask for money? What would you say if you heard maybe a colleague say that?
Well, I think we have hit a sweet spot of something that's a need in the community that people are really passionate about. I had a volunteer text me on Friday night and said, I'm more concerned about the kids not eating than I am about getting sick from the coronavirus.
Wow.
And she's a realtor that's out and about. I think it's just, I think I would struggle with asking for something that is not helping with the situation. I think maybe, sending out a letter just saying our event has been canceled, will you please still support us?
Right.
Not sure I could do that. But helping with a direct need, a basic need during this time has really been good for us. And we're really, with the addition of Krista and a couple board members who aren't as busy as they typically are, we're handwriting thank you notes to everybody who gives. Wow. All first-time donors, which at this point we're at 44. Krista's calling them and thanking them for their donation. And the Boys and Girls Club of America, one thing that they're suggesting, and my mentor there, is, call some of your older donors. And this is something I would recommend to other people, is call some of your own older donors. How are you doing? Just to check in on them, not to ask them for a donation, but just to check in on them and see if there's anything you can do. Can I pick up groceries for you? Because, as fundraisers, we're not just asking for money, we're these relationship people as well. One thing I found interesting, my sister is a fundraiser for a huge park in Nashville, Tennessee. And it's one of the few things that's still open. And the state of Tennessee has closed their state parks, but their metro city parks are still open. So people are packed in her park with social distancing using the trails. And I said to her, well, I hope you're using this as a tool to raise money. And her point was, I'm going to wait. I want them to enjoy it now. But don't you think in the fall, I'm going to hit that as one of the best ways we got through this was to be able to have outdoor activities and things.
Yeah. Remember April when you were able to get outside. Now is your chance to give back.
Right.
Well, you're smart. It must come from a smart family because you found that sweet spot and just how contextual. Yeah. And I think the specificity of all the appeals is what stood out to me as well. It was a clear, we're doing this thing. It's needed. We need help. Do you want to pitch in? So, kudos to you and the team for making it happen.
Well, thanks. Thankfully we already had a commercial kitchen. We already had a kitchen manager. So those things are huge. And it's really nice that we have not, knock on wood, and hopefully with the grant or government help that we applied for last week, we have not had to lay off anybody.
Great.
The people have self-selected that they don't feel comfortable working, which is absolutely fine. They will have a job when they come back, but we are hoping not to have to lay anybody off, and our board is very supportive of that, and we check in with them every 2 weeks and say sort of, this is where we are, can we go the next pay period, and our goal is, to not have to lay anybody off or furlough anybody.
And the fundraising results have been, I know it's a new sort of program and campaign, but it looks like it has dwarfed what you were doing maybe last March and April, or is that a true statement?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely a true statement. We did our Be Great breakfast last year, the end of April, and raised around $30,000. But half of that came from 2 donors. And one of those donors has doubled their gift for this spring.
Wow. With no event.
Is being asked this week to make at least the same size gift as she did last week. Right now our plan is to have that event in September, but I think that's everyone's plan. I think we'll look at things over, hopefully in June and see, do we really need to have that event, or can we use those resources to really push towards our Thanksgiving Day run, which would be my hope.
That makes sense.
I love event fundraising. I'm one of those weird people that love to do special events, but
not weird.
Doing 2 major events in 2 months I did it my first 6 months here, and it's just a lot. But,
yeah, definitely.
So keep coming. And we're really trying to engage the people and say, yes, you're giving right now maybe for the meal program, but these are all the other things we do. And we just got a gift either last night or this morning, and she said, thanks for all you're doing. Please use this gift in any way that you need to.
Wow.
So, but if it is a designated gift for the meal program, we're definitely using it for that. We do know some of our larger gifts that have come through. If we go to those really 2 donors and say, we need to use this money elsewhere, I've already talked to one of them. They are absolutely fine with it.
Awesome. Well, it's a testament to the foundations you've laid, especially with the stewardship and the additional focus on stewardship you have during this time, which I love. I love the handwritten notes. So you all are inspiring me. It's why I wanted to talk to you. So thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Just the experience.
It's nice to have a purpose during this time.
Yeah.
My husband's working from home. I have 3 teenage boys, so I'm happy to still go to work.
Yeah. Well, I got an 8-year-old son running around, and our YMCA has been doing some virtual programming, but I might have him check out your club tonight and take a class or 2.
Yeah. So, I have got a quick question for you when we're done with this part.
Okay. Well, we'll call it a day there. We can keep talking, but thanks for sharing your time. And I love all the tips, and just keep it up. Thanks for all you do.
Well, let's hope we'll keep the momentum to take us forward, because we've had a lot going on in the last 2 years, so we really needed some good momentum.
You'll keep it going, I'm sure. Thanks, Katie.
Thanks.